Good evening. This is the Economic Development Committee meeting of December 3rd, 2012. Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'm Anthony Zambuto. I'm the chairman of the Economic Development Committee. Our committee members are Brian Arrigo, John Correggio, John Powers, or I should say Charlie Patch, John Powers, and we have also here tonight we have the President Penta, who is automatically a member of our committee and every other committee. And with us also is Councilor Guanasso and Councilor Haas. So we're here to discuss. Well, I'll let the city clerk tell us what we're here to discuss, since that's her job.
The sole item on the agenda is City Council Order 12-280. It's the proposed tax increment financing agreement between the City of Revere and Squire Charger Realty, LLC.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have before us tonight agreement along with some additional language and amendment that specifically spells out the reason for this TIF agreement. There is one additional provision I'm going to ask people to put in this final agreement, and that will be we're calling the aforementioned supermarket. It's going to be named as Market Basket because in spite of our fondness of the developers and their reputation, the reason for this TIF agreement is to deliver a Market Basket to Northgate Shopping Center, and so. Somewhere in this language, it's going to say Market Basket, and the rest of the language is all in there. So anyways, I'm going to call on committee members for questions and discussion, and we'll go through all of this, and hopefully we'll all be in agreement, if we are in fact in agreement, and we'll vote this out favorably tonight from this committee to the full City Council tonight, and perhaps we'll have an agreement in hand and soon have a Market Basket in Revere, Massachusetts. So, Councilor Arrigo.
Thank you, Councilor Zambuto, and I know this was discussed previously, and I was unable to attend due to work restrictions. But I was hoping to get a couple of basic questions answered, and I know our Director of Economic Development, John Fess, is in the audience. I don't know if John, you can answer some of the questions. Okay.
We have Economic Development Director Festa here. We also have the developers here and their representatives, and that's what this meeting is tonight, to get every single question related to this agreement on the table, and if there's some changes that need to be made, we want to do it right now.
Fantastic.
Great.
Thank you, Chairman Zambuto. My first question is a little more technical, I think, than we need to get into, but in Section C of the additional provisions, number 2, there's a reference to city manager. And I don't know if that is that going to be changed? Okay, and I assume that is the mayor, would be the mayor? Okay. 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 And
this is a template,
yep.
boilerplate type thing.
Okay. And my other question is, there's a reference to ETA, and I don't see a definition. So it's on the top of page 2, and then more importantly, in B6, so under the conditions, there's a report that people hired from within the ETA. I just wanted to make sure that ETA meant Revere and not just a region, or it's Revere. Okay. Okay. And, okay. And then finally, I guess a broader question is, I know, I don't have any problems with the agreement, as it's written up, the general tax rate that we're giving them, $100,000 a year. I just wonder if we know what the assessed value will be after the 10 years. I know we're giving them a break on the assessed value during the 10-year period. What are we assuming will be their assessed value after the 10 years? So will it be like $14 million, or do we have any idea?
And before you start, I just want to also mention I neglected my colleague, Councilor Novoselsky, who snuck in under my peripheral vision.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, to answer your question, Councilor, it's projected out over the period of the extent of the life of this, of the 10 years, and we're projected. That could change though, but we want to give you, I would want to give you an accurate figure,
Yep.
something that we would project, but it is substantially higher, obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
If I could get a ballpark at some point,
Absolutely.
doesn't have
Absolutely,
to be
we'll
right
do
now.
that. Okay.
And then finally, I know there's nothing in the agreement, but have there been any conversations around a potential partnership between the school system and Market Basket, with having, maybe a portion of kids from Revere High getting a chance to work there? I know I think a lot of people, a lot of kids my age or younger have worked at Stop and Shop or Purity Supreme, going back a little bit. But is there any idea of a partnership that maybe we could get even a class of like an internship type of program where they could get an opportunity to work at Market Basket?
Yes, Councilor. At the last meeting, it was presented that what they'd like to do, the developer would do, is he would actually have a fair at the high school to be able to be very informative on terms of the information and getting jobs for Revere residents and things of that nature. So they're willing to do that and partner up with the schools to be able to provide the information necessary so that people can get educated in terms of when, where, how jobs will be done, and to actually help Revere residents.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Rigo. I'll just add to that a little bit. The Market Basket's record in other communities is that they do partner with the local high schools, and they actually have a presence in the high school for job training and job recruitment. So we're fairly sure if the school department will go along with it, that they'll do it here for us also. Councilor Correggio.
Thank you, Chairman Zambudo. I read over the language in the TIF agreement. I'm fully agreed about with the language. I do agree with Councilor Arrigo. We need to get more younger people involved with jobs and development. But this TIF agreement, Chelsea does have TIF agreements with businesses there, and City of Chelsea has done very, very well. And so hopefully this will be a catalyst to bring in more development and develop that Northgate Shopping Center. For years and years, really nothing has been really active down there. So this is a tremendous boost for the city of Revere to have a Market Basket. People are just thriving for it. And I'll do whatever is necessary as the city council to be able to bring in development like this. And I wish them all the best of luck, and I'll do what I can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Rigo. Councilor Patch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I spoke at the last meeting, gave my reasoning why I am for the TIF. I've been consistent on commercial growth on Squire Road. I think Market Basket is a real plus for the city because I've had a lot of people come up to me saying how, they've been just limited to Stop and Shop. And unfortunately, their prices seem to be very high. And hopefully this bringing in competition always is better for the consumer. And I just hope, that we get this through tonight, and I'm going to support the TIF. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Patch. My apologies to Councilor Corriggio, or my apologies to Councilor Arrigo. I'm not sure, but I called Councilor Corriggio Councilor Arrigo, so I apologize. Council President Penta.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I spoke at the last committee meeting you had, and I want to commend you for a good job in getting this agreement to where it is today. And I hope we take a vote on this tonight. I'm sure you will. Just a couple things I didn't bring up last time. And I'll go over a couple things we did bring up last time. I mean, $1 million over 10 years sounds like a lot of money. But if you look at the whole picture here, that there was a pipe under this building. The building had to be raised. That probably cost, I don't know, $500,000 or $600,000. That being said, if you left the building there, and let's say status quo, life goes on without them knocking it down and putting it up, what they're paying in taxes is still even greater than what they would have to pay if they didn't do anything. So in reality, you're really not giving anything away. Now you look at the pluses, it's bringing 300 to 400 jobs, Revere residents. Some jobs, people say right away, supermarket, some jobs are paying them $40,000 to $50,000. Some might be $25,000 to $30,000. Part-time jobs, they brought up the schools, that they work along with schools and everything else. Big plus. Somebody said that it's going to help the other businesses there. There's no question that's going to help the other businesses there, because now you're bringing a captive audience to an area that overspills into the other businesses. The good thing about that is you may have a lot different businesses down there, higher-end businesses, which will create higher-end taxes for the other commercial entities down there, which will probably supersede the money you're giving them in breaks. So I see this as a win-win-win all the way around for the taxpayers, for the developer, and for the city as a whole. And like I said, right now, jobs is the number one thing. Everybody's been saying it through the federal government, locally, and we're not really creating anything quickly here for jobs. So I'm asking that this be voted tonight so this can get off the ground quicker so we can put people to work. And I thank you, Mr. Chairman, for all the work you've done in this.
Thank you, Council President Penta, and thank you for those kind words. Council Guanasso.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Certainly, competition is the betterment for our community, and certainly having a business such as Market Basket come into our city as an anchor store at Northgate will serve as a catalyst for other good development in that area. We're already heading in that direction. And for years, Stop and Shop has had it all to themselves. And selfishly so, they kept that spot that ShopRite has now vacant for many, many years after the pleas of this council and councils before us, and management and managers and mayors before that were pleading with Stop and Shop to do something with that location, and they didn't do it for many years. But I think the bottom line of this is that people will experience quite a difference in price differential. It will be the best interest of our community. And in terms of when we're talking about jobs, mostly created by a marketing enterprise such as Stop and Shop, Market Basket, or Suratani's, they're all generated by jobs that, in the caliber of, they're reachable to anybody in our community, meaning that senior citizens who have completed their regular work and now in retirement and want to supplement their income a little bit, they can work there. Youngsters from high school and during the last years of high school on to college can work there. This is a job opportunity for those individuals that don't have a specialized field don't have the ability, that they haven't reached the college level, and some have been beyond, like I say, that they're working their senior years. This is a great opportunity for many people in our community. And the most important fabric of this whole thing is the consumer in Revere is going to value, because I heard somebody was talking about unions, and it's a dear friend of mine who has mentioned this, that he was, there are not many union jobs, and that Stop and Shop is all union. But the union people that aren't employed and are suffering and experiencing shortage of cash, you bet your life they're shopping at the most affordable place that they could possibly go to. And they're looking to put food on the table for their families. We have many senior citizens in our community, through the good fortunes of good health, and they're living beyond the average means age limitations that were placed years before. Some have been retired for 20, 25 years, living on a very fixed income. This will make the opportunity to at least feed themselves more affordable. And that's so important for all of us, to be able to put food on the table at a reasonable price and make certain that we don't have to experience a less of quality of life than we have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Guanasso. Councilor Haas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I said the last time we met on this issue here, when I was the mayor of the city, we brought in 3 new Super Stop and Shops with no TIF agreement. Things have changed over the past 10 to 15 years. The economy has taken a deep 6. I shop at Market Basket, Juanita and myself. It's a great facility over there. Looking at them coming into Revere, paying for the relocation of the water main underneath their facility, that would probably be a city expense. No one's going to make that expenditure coming in. Market Basket, to the tune of $600,000 to $700,000, will relocate that main, which saves us taxpayers a tremendous amount of money, money we don't have. Looking at a 10-year, $1 million gift, and I would say gift, we're also realizing $1.8 million coming in as tax revenue to the city. Now, with this $1.8 million coming in, we have the lowest level of police officers we've ever had. And I'm hoping the mayor, and I'm sure this council will go along with it, to request that a portion of that be used for police protection. Without question, we need it. The catalyst of Market Basket going into that facility, along with Planet Fitness in the back, will, I believe, rejuvenate that whole area. It'll rejuvenate the building without question in front of it. And I think that's what the citizens of our community want. We keep on talking about, Panera and some of the major staple companies that go to areas that draw a lot of people. I honestly believe that this area here, Northgate Shopping Center, with the coming in of Market Basket, along with the potential and possibilities of bringing much needed competition to our area, I believe the citizens of Revere will benefit without question. I don't want to be redundant with the number of employees it's going to hire, because without question, anyone more than one individual is a great benefit to Revere. We talk about the youth of the community, high school students. We also have to talk about our senior citizens. And if you go to Market Basket in Chelsea, they have a lot of senior citizens and youth working there. So I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the benefit to Revere. Yes, we will give away $1 million, but we're saving $600,000 to $700,000 on the relocation of the pipe. Plus, we're guaranteed almost $1.8 million over the 10 years. And with that $1.8 million and a much needed revenue coming into our community, and as we all know, the governor's talking about he's got some major deficits coming up, and that's going to hit local aid. So I think it's behooves the city council to look favorably at this TIF. I would be voting for it later on this evening, and I think we've addressed this at length Mr. Chairman, the many meetings we've had, online, et cetera. So for someone to say they didn't know what we were addressing, okay, I can't believe it. So I will be supporting this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Hassan. I appreciate the comments. I do disagree a little bit when you talk about gift. I don't see a tax increment finance agreement as a gift. I see it as a catalyst to bring the type of development we want and need in this city. And I want to use this mechanism again and again to bring things that will come in and revitalize an area. Obviously, the economic target area was created for this purpose, to take a somewhat depressed area and bring a business in there that can turn it around. When I first learned about TIF agreements some 12 or 14 years ago, I was thrilled that we piggybacked with Chelsea. I'm not going anywhere. I'm stating the fact, sir. The fact that we have the tool. Councilor Haas, with all due respect, I didn't interrupt you. Please don't interrupt me. Listen. Can I have a minute here? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Getting back to the point, this is a perfect example of how a TIF should work for what the city desires to do. This will revitalize an area that is, for years, we've all been complaining about, all of us. And I think it's a great thing. There is a little bit of business I want to clean up about some language here. First of all, I want to make sure that well, you can read it. I'm going to let the city clerk read part of the agreement. I'm hoping the developers have copies of these. Have you, or have you been privy to this? We've tried to be transparent about everything we've done. I think this is, in 2012, the Revere City Council is now the most transparent city council anywhere. When we can put a TIF agreement online for a couple of weeks before we're voting on it, nobody's going to say that we're trying to do anything underhanded or backroom deals or anything of that sort. So everything we've done is completely in the open. Unfortunately, there is a couple of little minor, I hope you consider them minor changes, that we've made in the last 2 weeks to change the agreement with a couple of slight amendments just to protect the city a little more carefully. And I have the Director of Economic Development here to explain, and I have the clerk ready to read, and if we need you to. And I want to thank John Fester, our Economic Development Director, for his hard work. And I know I've been a pain in the neck with language that I wanted to see in this agreement, because I didn't want anybody to come back and say, you've given away a TIF agreement and you didn't even name Market Basket in it. And so I didn't want to hear that later. So I appreciate it. Some of the things seem redundant and some of them seem like overkill maybe, but I don't see it that way. And I thank you for your indulgence. Madam Clerk.
The First Amendment offered by the Economic Development Subcommittee is as follows. A new subsection 10 under section C is added as follows. Consistent with the language and intent of this agreement, the company agrees that the city has the right to revoke this agreement if the aforementioned new supermarket fails to open and or start operations, or if for any reason the new supermarket ceases to operate and or be open for business during the 10-year exemption period provided in this agreement. And the Second Amendment shall be the word supermarket is replaced with the words market basket in all instances.
Does everybody agree with that language and understand why it's there? Okay. Do you want to add anything, John?
One last thing. Councilors, by this TIF agreement, we looked at other cities and towns and what they've done, and I won't take a lot of time here, but this also, by approving this, we think it's a win-win for everyone, as you stated. It's a win for the city, it's a win for the developers, and most importantly, it's a win for the people in the city of Revere. But on behalf of Mayor Rizzo and the administration, we also sends a clear message that we're willing to, work with developers to come in as long as the entity and the group is doing something good for the city of Revere. I think it sends a strong message. We want to be proactive in gaining businesses like this. We're going to continue doing this, and we're not going to let up. So I think it's a win. It's something that hopefully will be approved this evening, and it's something that, as I stated, it's just very good for the people in the city of Revere.
Well, again, I want to thank you for your efforts, and I want to commend the Rizzo administration for its efforts in working with developers. And everybody's mentioned the $500,000 or $600,000 that was spent on changing our pipe, our city-owned pipe, moving that. And, if you looked at these in dollars and cents, that's more than half of the TIF agreement over 10 years. So it's not about one-sidedness. It's about good faith with developers. And that's the message we want to send out here, that we're going to work with good developers in a partnership that's good for the city and good for the developer. We don't want people to lose money here. We want people to come here and make money and help us revitalize areas that need to be changed. So with that said, I know I've talked enough, and my colleagues to my right here are buzzing that I'm going on, and I enjoy doing that, especially when it irks them. Anyhow, I'm just kidding, guys, just kidding. We're going to take a vote of the... I'm out after this meeting anyway, so that's okay. You've got a new regime coming in. Say that again? I'm doing that on purpose, don't you understand? Okay, we're going to take a vote of the committee on whether or not to, we'll let the clerk call it.
Roll call of the committee members on the TIF. This is as amended. Councilor Arrigo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Correggio?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers is absent, and Chairman Zambudo? Oh, Councilor Penta?
Yes.
Yes, and Chairman Zambudo?
Chairman votes yes, gladly.
Yes. It will be reported out favorably to the full City Council.
I want to thank you all for your attendance. That's the end of the Economic Development Subcommittee for December 3rd, 2012, and possibly my last Economic Development Chairman Committee. And I want to thank you all for your efforts.